Hold on to your hats, folks, because this story explodes onto the scene. Our heroine, Riley North, a woman fueled by grit and a whole lot of vengeance, is hot on the trail of her nemesis. The city's a blur, a chaotic whirlwind of people, but Riley? Unfazed. Even a nasty knife wound can't slow her down. With laser focus, she corners her target, emotions running wild, and bam! One final, satisfying shot ends years of torment. Exhausted but triumphant, she disappears into the city's underbelly, a grungy, forgotten corner. A beat-up black van becomes her sanctuary. First things first, tending to that wound, hospitals are so last week. But wait, what's this? A chocolate cake. Suddenly, we're 5 years in the past, a flashback to happier times. And the story really begins. Home with her daughter Carrie, whose birthday excitement's practically bouncing off the walls. They're prepping for a party, a fantastic party, but bam! Neighbor Peg bursts in, all demanding parent-teacher meeting this, parent-teacher meeting that. Riley, super mom extraordinaire, politely but firmly declines, she's got a birthday to conquer. Peg huffs off, clearly not amused. But Riley, unfazed. Carrie's special day is on. Meanwhile, at work, hubby Chris is oblivious to the birthday chaos, totally engrossed in, well, work stuff. Riley's birthday planning machine is in full swing, but whoa, another curveball. The boss is shutting the shop early, family emergency. And Chris, oh boy, Chris, he's wrestling with a get-rich-quick scheme proposed by his buddy Mickey, robbing a drug lord, no less. Diego Garcia? Yeah, that Diego Garcia. Chris is suddenly very, very aware of the risks, especially with his family in mind. Evening, folks. Riley comes home to a birthday disaster. Kali's party, bombed. Turns out, sneaky Peg's been spreading gossip like wildfire. Poor Kali's heartbroken, but don't you worry. Super mom Riley's got this. Pizza? Check. Christmas carnival? Double check. This night's about to get a whole lot brighter. Meanwhile, Chris, bless his heart, is pulling a last-minute 180 on some seriously shady robbery plans. Family's way more important, right? But oh, someone named Cortez is watching their every move. And things take a seriously grim turn when Mickey, despite Chris's warning, goes ahead with the robbery only to get, well, let's just say it's not a happy ending. But back to our happy trio. Riley, Chris, and Kali are having a blast at the carnival, twinkling lights, sweet treats, and laughter filling the air. Peppermint ice cream, anyone? Pure magic. Then, back to the car, unaware of the darkness lurking in their wake. Unbeknownst to them, danger lurked. Hidden in a nearby car, like a bad date waiting to pounce, Garcia's goons watched. Then, bam, chaos. A hail of bullets. Chris and Kali, splat. Poor Riley, witnessing this family-friendly massacre, made a desperate dash, only to become target practice herself. Down she went, vision blurring, fading. Luckily, the cops showed up before the scene turned into a full-blown western. Riley, clinging to life by a thread, was whisked away. Meanwhile, a detective, a real Sherlock Holmes wannabe, started sniffing around the crime scene. Days crawled by, but our feisty Riley started to mend. And just as she was waking up, entered Detective Stan, all charming and reassuring, ready to spill the beans about the investigation. Hold on to your hats, folks, because this is a roller coaster. A husband and daughter, gone. Stan drops a bombshell. Chris, the victim, planned to rip off a seriously nasty drug lord, Diego Garcia. Chris chickened out, but Garcia? Not so forgiving. Revenge was swift, brutal. Chris and Kali, dead. Then, bam, Stan shows Riley, the surviving daughter, a carnival photo, and suddenly, flashbacks. She remembers the killer's faces. Police station, here we come. One by one, Riley IDs the 3 goons responsible. Meanwhile, Stan and Detective Moses, in a surprisingly peaceful garden, go figure, are piecing it all together. Moses even whips out a crucial piece of pie. Okay, maybe not pie. A crucial piece of evidence, that is. Whoa, a police badge. At the crime scene. Turns out, it belonged to a rotten apple in the force, a Garcia lackey. Stan's putting the pieces together, and let me tell you, the picture ain't pretty. Garcia's tentacles are everywhere. This wasn't just a robbery, folks. Chris chickened out, but Garcia? Garcia always delivers the brutal punchline. Moses is dropping truth bombs, warning Stan about tackling this guy. Garcia's a viper, silencing anyone who dares cross him, even cops. Poor Stan's feeling the pressure. Meanwhile, Riley's world is shattered. Her home, a mausoleum of lost warmth. Talk about a gut punch. Afternoon. Suddenly, bam, a creepy guy's at her door, flashing cash. Bribery, for silence, his eyes practically glued to her meds. But Riley, she's a force of nature. Snap. She snatches them back, shoves the money in his face, and sends him packing. No price on her truth. A week later, it's trial time. She's ready to take down the monsters who shattered her family. Justice. But the courtroom, claustrophobic. A creeping dread settles in, and then she sees him. The cash-waving creep is the defense attorney. Gulp. The lawyer's attack? Brutal. He tries to trash her testimony, blaming her head injury. Betrayal stings. And then, the hammer falls, the judge throws out her evidence. Insufficient proof, the villains walk. Devastating. Hold on to your hats, folks, because this is a wild ride. She exploded. Pure, unadulterated fury. Handcuffed in the ambulance, en route to the hospital, but bam. She spots an oxygen tank, clocks Stan, and vanishes. Poof. Chaos reigns. Later, Moses and Stan, at Chris's funeral, hoping for a Riley sighting, find nothing but empty pews and unanswered questions. Years pass, then boom. Carnival carnage. 3 bodies, above a merry-go-round. It's Stan and Moses again, arriving to find the very killers of Chris and Kali. Revenge served cold and spectacularly. Meanwhile, back at the FBI, Agent Tillman's deep in paperwork when Agent Lee bursts in with urgent news. A gun heist. A woman pulled it off. And the CCTV? Oh, the drama. Lisa, our intrepid heroine, practically melted when she saw the suspect, her old nemesis, Riley. Cue the frantic action. Meanwhile, back at the crime scene, Stan and Moses, the dynamic duo of Detective Dom, are piecing things together when bam. Lisa's on the phone. Riley, meanwhile, is all patched up and ready to rumble. Back at the FBI, it's all hands on deck. Lisa drops the bombshell. It's not just one gun, it's a whole arsenal. Riley's building up to something big. And as our agents strategize, guess what? Riley's already one step ahead. She's after that crooked judge who screwed her over years ago. And in a moment of pure, icy vengeance. Hold on to your hats, folks, because this is a wild ride. Riley, our femme fatale, nails the judge, literally. She ties him up, hammers nails into his hands, a little payback for his betrayal, then boom. She plants a bomb, leaving him to his explosive fate. Poor Stan gets the grim news, judge toast. Suddenly, stopping Riley's revenge-fueled rampage becomes extremely urgent. Meanwhile, Cortez bursts into Garcia's lair with shocking news. The judge is kaput, courtesy of our nail-happy heroine. Garcia's flipping out, his bribed protector is a smoking crater. He screams for Cortez to put a hit out on Riley, a hefty bounty on her head. But wait, there's more. Ortega walks in, complaining about 2 missing drug shipments. Garcia waves it off, seemingly more worried about the woman who's turning judges into pincushions. Ortega dropped a truth bomb on Garcia. Buddy, you're a minnow in a shark tank compared to Cortez. Their tense showdown, major alliance cracks. Meanwhile, across town, Riley's on a bus, handing out toys. Oh. But the sweetness ends fast. A drunk dad? Riley's got a gun, pointed right at his face. Family first, pal, she growls, or else. Next, she's undercover, a total scavenger chick, hunting Marvin. Her disguise? 5 minutes of fame. Then, bam, 2 guards, but Riley's faster. She's moving in, closer, peering through a crack. Presence detected. Bam! A furious firefight erupted. Outnumbered but not outgunned, Riley, our sharpshooting heroine, showed those goons what precision and grit really mean. One by one, pow pow pow, she dropped them like bad habits, leaving only Marvin whimpering in the dust. Terrified Marvin scurried to Garcia, spilling the beans about the incident. Garcia's face turned the color of a stoplight, red. He demanded to know if Riley'd made off with the loot. Marvin, stammering like a guilty schoolboy, admitted she hadn't stolen a dime, she'd torched their cash. Talk about payback. Garcia, realizing Riley's vengeance was as fiery as the inferno she'd created, ordered Cortez to lock down everything. This wasn't over. The news? It went wild. Local channels were all over the dangerous vigilante story. The city's buzzing, everyone's wondering what she'll do next. And just then, police raided one of Garcia's money laundering dens. Moses, pointing a finger. Hold on to your hats, folks, because things are about to get wild. Moses drops a bombshell on Stan, major evidence. But, oh, their bromance turns into a brutal brawl. Moses thinks Stan's got love brain for Lisa, totally clouded his judgment. Bam! Just when things reach a fever pitch, Lisa waltzes in, all curious and charming, and Stan suddenly all smitten, escorting her back to HQ. Meanwhile, poor Garcia's heartbroken, his buddy Marvin's gone, kaput. He's beside himself. How'd Riley know where Marvin was? CZ whispers a dark suspicion, tracking. Garcia, fueled by rage, sets a deadly trap. This vendetta's about to get personal. Riley, oblivious to Garcia's evil plan, is prepping her own attack, meticulously, brutally. She's studying his lair, ready to strike. And parallel to all this chaos, Stan and Lisa, tech whizzes that they are tracking Riley, too. What a tangled web we weave. Satellite tracking, top secret maneuvers, we were this close to predicting Garcia's next move. Then Riley busts into the base, eerie silence. Oh, turns out, Garcia's a party pooper, and boom. Explosives. She's dodging death, narrowly escaping a henchman in a building-sized firework display. Meanwhile, Lisa and Stan arrive at the scene, total chaos. Flames, rubble, confusion. Classic Garcia. Lisa's off investigating, Stan's on the phone to Moses, spilling the beans about Garcia's secret hideout. And Riley, let's just say she's got 9 lives, or at least one very lucky escape. Soaked to the bone after a daring escape through a freaking aqueduct, talk about dramatic entrances. She flagged down a ride and vroom. Off she went, hot on the tail of Garcia's goons. With every mile, her mission to bust Garcia's whole operation got even fiercer. Meanwhile, Garcia gets a call, a completely fabricated report of Riley's demise. Silly Garcia. Little does he know, Lisa, determined as ever, dives headfirst into a grimy slum, quizzing a homeless guy who mentions an angel helping folks. Intriguing. A potential clue. Meanwhile, Riley, she's a force of nature. This one ambushes Garcia's crew on a deserted road. Swift, brutal, efficient. And back at his mansion, Garcia's watching the news, a news report about a very familiar carjacking. Hold on to your hats, folks. Our hero spotted the stolen car, his man's ride, no less. And bam, same car rolls up to the gate. Guards, thinking it's friendly fire, open wide. Big mistake. Riley, hot on their tail like a rocket, cuts them down. Garcia, clever cookie, throws the house into darkness, men scrambling for cover. Undeterred, Riley bursts in, a one-woman wrecking crew clearing a path. She corners Garcia, gun raised, but wait. Garcia's little girl, a mirror image of Riley's own kid, stops her cold. That split-second hesitation is all Garcia needs to strike. A knife fight under the looming sirens. Riley, wounded but not beaten, makes a daring getaway, finding refuge. Peg's pad, the very place she'd hog-tied him, was next, after tending her wounds, naturally. Then Riley, all guns blazing, demanded wedding ring intel. Peg's sassy retort? It only made Riley angrier, weapon drawn, ready for a showdown. Back at the crime scene, Moses grilled a cop, learning the house belonged to some company. But Moses, that clever cookie, smelled a Garcia rat. He confronted Barker, furious about the info Stan was missing. Barker's, I told him twice. Claim, suddenly, Stan's loyalty was questionable. Meanwhile, Stan, nosing around a dodgy neighborhood, bumped into Lisa. A black van full of illegal firepower later, and bam. Years of undercover work targeting Riley and Garcia, and a corrupt cop in Garcia's pocket, all revealed. The plot thickens. Whoa, a shocking twist. Lisa, our intrepid investigator, gets whacked. Turns out, her seemingly harmless pal Stan was secretly Garcia's puppet. Lisa's snooping got too close, so Stan, bam. He takes her out, then coolly rats out Riley's location. Garcia and his goons swarm the slums like angry wasps. But Riley, she's not done. Wounded, exhausted, she uses the environment to her advantage. A collapsing vault takes out one of Garcia's thugs. Then, brilliant move, she grabs a radio, calls Garcia directly, and lays down the ultimate ultimatum: surrender or watch your crew get annihilated. Garcia, cocky as ever, laughs it off, but Riley's not bluffing. Then, she hears something. A ringing phone. Then, bam, a trash box discovery. Inside, Lisha, lifeless, fearful face our girl Riley. She's not messing around. Phone in hand, she goes live. Social media meltdown. Corruption within the police, stunts involved, and Garcia's hiding place revealed. Police swarm the location, but oh, Garcia's got a hostage, a kid. He's threatening to off her unless Riley shows herself. What a maniac. Riley, brave as heck, steps out. Garcia unleashes a brutal beating, but Riley's tougher than nails. She taunts him, buying time, as sirens wail in the distance. Garcia's crew, totally freaking out. The game's up. Whoa, escape route blocked? Garcia, in a shocking betrayal, guns down Stan. The audacity. But wait, there's more. Riley, fueled by righteous fury and grief, explodes. A flurry of fists, a takedown worthy of a superhero. Garcia's brought to his knees. Gun pointed, finger twitching, the tension's a knife. Just as she's about to pull the trigger, bam. Moses and the cops burst in, begging her to stop. Too late. Justice served, with a bang. But the cops return fire, hitting Riley. Injured, but she's gone, vanished into the night. Next day, Moses finds her, pale, broken, at her husband's grave. The aftermath, chilling. Tears streamed down her face, a gut-wrenching grief for her lost family. But Moses, bless his soul, didn't hesitate. Hospital, stat. Meanwhile, the city exploded with news of Riley, not as some criminal, but a hero. She'd taken on injustice, and boy, did she win. The support was huge, a tidal wave of public love, but the law, well, the law's the law. Charges pending, trial looming, but Riley? Hospital bed, that's her jail cell. Moses, her rock, visiting constantly, whispering words of strength. Because of her bravery, Garcia's drug empire, kaput. Criminals galore behind bars. The city was healing, blossoming, Riley's name a beacon of hope. And the movie's final scene? Moses, leaning in, a final pep talk, brimming with, well, everything good.